Combo step or comboing. So how to combo? Well, first and foremost, I prefer that people, at least focus on trying not to combo. Hey, do what you want. You want to combo, you do you. I'm not telling you not to combo. I'm just saying that it would be better if you got to the point where you didn't need to. At least offensively, right? If you want to know how to combo defensively, well, my tips for that on how I combo defensively, or ideally how I want to combo defensively. Well, ultimately, I don't want to combo at all because that's just a waste of cards. But if I'm going to combo, right, defensively, then I will want to use something like the Napa Super Combo or the Cell Awaken Super Combo, the multicolor Super Combos, because they have the ability that after you combo with them, they hit the field for free. So they're free plays. So you could combo with them again. So they're pretty good in that regards. There are some other combos that are decent, obviously. There's a Masu Super Combo, the blue, yellow one. Obviously, that's a good one defensively. So some super combos are good defensively, some good offensively. I like the Napa and the Cell super combos because they can be either or, right? They can be used offensively, they can be used defensively. Like, for example, you combo to make something strong, obviously, right? Like swing with my leader combo, make my leader 20k, or 25k if it's awaken, or 30k if it got a 5k boost, and then I just combo to get it up to 30, right? Which is always good numbers, 30 plus, right? But then the super combo hits the field. Now it's a free body. Now it's something I can swing with, right? So that's an extra potential attack. So it kind of not only gets me to a high attack power, so I could potentially deal damage, right? But also it gives me an extra body so I can swing. So it's almost like dual attack. So it kind of like does dual purpose. This is dual purpose. So that's why I'm a fan of those two in particular. I hope that they plan, because this looks like a pattern. I hope they plan to make a couple more. Like a red blue one. Like I just want it in all the different color combinations. Could that be pretty badass? You'll definitely see me use them a lot. Like a lot of my decks will be using them because of the fact that combo free play. So clearly they're among my favorite when it comes to super combos. Even though I own pretty much all the multicolor super combos, I did just order all the new super combos. That's why I was talking about the Cell one, because I can't wait to get that one for my Cell deck. So I got the Cell super combo plus all the other super combos. Even though I mainly use Napa, Android 18, some Bionic Blitz sometimes. I always be thinking of like, oh, let me use the Zamasu super combo because it's a really good defensive super combo, but end up a lot of times just like, nah, I'd rather negate an attack or block it or just take the hit, whichever one comes first, right, as they say. But anyway, back to comboing. Ideally, like I said, you don't want to take damage. You don't want your opponent you don't want to be in the position to combo. But if you're going to combo, you at least want to combo a minimum of 5k. I meant to say a maximum of 5k. You don't want to have to combo more than that. 5k per each attack you want to stop should be enough. That's what you at most want to spend out of your hand, because especially when it comes to super combos, a lot of people want to save it. They want to save their super combos for when they're going for game, so you don't want to use a super combo early game just to stop an attack. So you rather at most use a zero cost 5k, right? Just 5k combo power. Ideally, you will want that combo power, so to speak, to be reusable, right? You want it to be something you can use over and over again. That's why I'm always looking for what I call endless combo cards, things that I can use over and over again to do that whole 5k thing. So it's anything that can boost my leader, an extra 5k, like something like Senzu Bean, for example. That's a good one, obviously. Power of the People is another good one. Anything that can give me that extra power boost, especially for the whole turn, obviously, right? Like Senzu Bean and stuff like that is, ideal. The 4-star ball with the Goku Venture begins battle card that lets you recycle it over and over again, so you can use the 4-star ball as combo power essentially, right? And keep giving your leader 5k every turn by adding it back to hand. So something like that is ideally what you want to be. You want to be in a position where is at most that's what you're doing. I noticed some unisons, even some leaders, have some effects where they can combo from the drop. Like they'll have an active battle where they can combo from the drop. So I look for cards like that, cards that let me combo from the drop or from the hand or anything of that nature. There's actually a 6-drop Trunks. It's him with the spirit sword and shit like that, right? He has the ability to combo from the drop. Sorry, combo from the drop, and I like the idea of synergizing him with whatchamacallit, the Zamasu. I forget what's his name right now, but it's a 2-drop, not Zamasu, Gowasu, who has the ability to put up to 3 battle cards from your drop back to the bottom of your deck. So I like the idea of trying to use that as a engine to recycle the cards on my drop, so I can use it defensively. So with my Zamasu leader, set 2 Zamasu leaders, so I can just get cards back into the bottom of my deck, so that way I essentially can gain infinite life, right? Just an idea. I'm always looking for some type of gimmick, as it were, some way of doing things differently. So like I said, you only want to combo at most 5k if you have to combo. You don't want to be in a position where you have to combo 10k or more. For all that, if you have to combo more than 5k, you're better off just taking the damage. Another thing is calculating damage. Every time you take a hit, right? Every time you take damage, or every time you lose a life, you take a life. Yeah, anytime a life is taken out of your life area, that's a turn you're losing, right? That's a turn that you won't have. You're more likely won't make it to turn 5 or 6 or 7, right? If you're taking damage, especially early game. Because at some point your opponent's going to have enough energy to put out multiple attackers, so the likelihood of dealing you a lot of damage in a single turn before you even get to like your kill turn or something, right? Before you get to the turn in which you're going to play your win condition, which a lot of times tend to be turn 5 or higher, which is late game, right? Late game finishers, late game win cons. So if you're letting your opponent deal you a lot of damage early game, turn 1 and 2, for example, turn 3 and 4 is mid game, right? So between turn 1 and turn 3, if you're letting your opponent deal you a lot of damage, more than 1 damage per for those 3 turns in total, you're running the risk of not getting to turn 5. So that's why I understand you want to know how to combo, right, in those types of situations when you can't negate or block. But obviously you need to improve your negating and your blocking capabilities, so that way you don't have to combo. But if you do got to combo, obviously, then you want to combo at most 5k. Other than that, you take a hit. Sometimes you're going to have to combo 5k to one attack and then take another attack, like take the hit from another attack, just so you can add hopefully some combo power to your hand, right? And then when your opponent tries to attack with another attack, you combo out of that attack. That way, out of 3 attacks, you only took 1 damage, and you were able to stop 2 attacks, right? So that's why at most you don't want to combo more than 5k, because anything more than that will 1 will cost your hand size, and 2 probably will cost your energy, right? To combo 10k that is not super combo will cost you at least an energy, right? So you don't want to be in a position like that. You definitely don't want to use energy for combo power defensively anyway, right? When you might want to save that energy for like a negates or something. So you always want to use, keep your energy for your negates, especially unless you have free negates, but typically you're going to, the idea is to not take hits, take a lot of damage, so you'll try to out combo as many attacks as possible. But ideally 5 is the most you want to do. Offensively, like I said, you don't want to combo unless you're going for game, right? But you don't want to combo offensively. You want to make sure that you've got cards that can boost themselves in power, or already really strong, like 30Ks, 40Ks, stuff like that, like really strong battle cards, unisons, right? And designate them for the purpose of using them as attackers. So you should have cards specifically for the purpose of attacking without the need of comboing. This does a lot of things, the whole not comboing thing, right? And I made a video about the whole no combo strategy. Is the idea that this speeds up, especially if you're playing competitively. You don't want to be like attack, wait for your opponent to say if they're negating or not, or blocking or not, right? And then you're like, okay, combo, and then you try to go into comboing. These are extra steps, these are extra actions you're taking before you get to other actions. You rather just be like attack, no, they'll be like no negate, you'd be like no combo, and then let them combo, right? And if they take a while to combo, at least you didn't take time to combo and then wait for them to try to combo, which is just going to waste a lot of time. So you save some time by not combo, which is plus it's just a waste of resource. That's the other thing. I don't like the idea of giving up cards just because we're trying to prevent damage from an attack. It'd be better to make it where your opponent just can't attack, right? I'd rather negate, block, floodgate, negate, right? Deadly defender. Have a blocker that can block more than once, like a blocker unison, like a Radish Giant Force. What's his name? Gohan. I forgot what it was, but it's a 3-drop that has barrier, blocker, revenge, and after it KOs a battle card, it restands. So it could potentially stop 2 attackers or 2 attacks, right? While KOing, while the revenge is kicking in, getting rid of those potential attackers. Especially if something has dual attack. And that's another thing. Most people are playing things that have more than one attack, which obviously is a good idea. I wonder who was talking about dual attacks. But anyway, so that's the thing. Since there are battle cards, unisons, leaders, they can attack more than once. Comboing becomes very costly, right? Becomes a very illogical tactic to combo. So to help mitigate that, obviously drawing a lot of cards will help you make it cost effective to combo. But if you can't draw a lot of cards to make it cost efficient to combo, then you need to get your defense, your negates and blocker game up to make up for it. Or find something like a engine that can let you combo. Like I said, there's some unisons, there's some leaders that have the effect. I think there's maybe at least 1 or 2 battle cards out there that have an effect that says that when your opponent attacks, you can combo from your drop. So look for stuff like that and try to incorporate them, because you want to get to a point where you can always combo if need be. Ideally, you don't want your opponent to be in a position where they can attack you, obviously, so that way you don't have to try to combo. But ideally, that's what you want. And the game doesn't, like I said before, the game doesn't go too far. If you're taking damage, you're not gonna have too many turns left in the game. So ideally, you want to make sure turn 3 and turn 2, turn 3, that you're keeping your defenses up, keeping your life high, and then turn 4 and above, you're probably going to take a couple of hits. Strategic hits. Obviously, you're going to allow damage to go through, because one, you're more likely going to try to take advantage of the card advantage you'll get from taking those hits late game, not early game. You don't need early game card advantage. You can get that through your leader swings. You could get that through unison effects. There's 2-drop unisons to let you draw a card every turn, so you can get your card advantage that way. So don't take hits early game to get card advantage. Wait until late game to take hits for card advantage, because more likely by then your hand size might be smaller, because you might have been using up a lot of cards to battle and combat and play against your opponent and deal with certain threats and whatnot. But again, you definitely want to make sure that your opponent doesn't get to combo step. But if you But if they get to the combo step, your combo step is what I mean. You obviously want to combo less than your opponent. You always want to force them to combo more. Also take into account that when they combo, that you want to make sure that you take into account how much they could combo and then hope they do. Right? So you want to put them in a position where they have to combo, 10K plus. Like I said, defensively, you want to combo 5K or not combo at all. But you definitely want to force your opponent to combo 10K plus. Hopefully it's their super combos they're using, and I've done that many times where my opponent's like super combos like, damn, you literally drew three of your super combos. But good thing, it's only turn 4 and you're already using them up. It's only been a couple of turns and you're already using up your super combos. So that's good. So I don't have to worry about them later on, right? I remember that same opponent that I'm thinking of asked me, about because he was trying to give me a suggestion about a super combo because of the super combo he was using. He's using the one drop Zeno super combo. So he was trying to suggest that super combo, and I was like, nah, I don't use super combo. So at least not in my Zamasu deck. So it's like, yeah, I don't use super combo, so I'm good. I don't need that particular card. It's a good effect, don't get me wrong. You combo and you can bounce, swap out a card from your energy with a card from your hand. It's a good effect, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan, but I didn't, for the way I'm playing, I didn't need it. But it was just funny. But anyway, yeah, like it says, like he used up his super combos like crazy because I was always constantly putting him in that position where he had to combo 10K per each of my attacks as opposed to like 5K. And whenever he did try to deal me damage, I either combo 5K or I just took the hit, or if I had the blockers, obviously I blocked. But typically I just took the hit. It's like, I'll take it. I need the card advantage. I'd rather take the hit than to waste cards. Especially if I needed a card to charge for energy. I definitely would take the hit so that I could use that card as energy to play the cards in my hands. Because obviously I'm probably going to play a combo, so I need a couple cards in my hands to play off a strategy. So I don't want to combo them off. Just to try to stop taking, just to prevent taking damage. That doesn't help move forward my game state, right? It doesn't help me reach my end goal, which is to win the game. Trying to prevent taking damage. I'm better off just taking it. But like I said, you don't really want to combo offensively. Defensive is the one you want to focus on more, and you want to get to the point where you're not comboing as much defensively. You want your opponent to combo more than you. You want them to combo both offensive and defense. You want them to combo a lot, like give up a lot of cards. Oh, that reminds me, there's cards that have what we call combo killers. They're effects that when your opponent combos, you just be like, all right, send that card in the combo area to the drop, so that forces them to have to combo again, right? So we call them combo killers. There's a unison that is Bardax Fraternal Bonds or something like that. It's a 2-drop green unison, and it has an auto, and it combo kills. So swinging at your opponent, and if your opponent tries to combo, defensively, you could be like, all right, use the ability to drop that card, forcing them to combo another card. So essentially, you made them drop 2 cards from the hand. So it's almost like hand control, right? Rebranding your opponent, right? Because now there's 2 less cards in hands. And it's an auto that applies on both turns. So on your turn, your opponent just dropped 2 cards, and then hopefully, when they attack you, let's say they try to chomp a double strike and stuff. Granted, they'll still get the double strike, but they won't get the 10K boost. So you just combo kill the 10K, drastically reducing the attack, forcing them to have to combo more if they want the attack to try to go through. But the fact that you're putting them in that type of bad situation, you'll end up comboing less than your opponent because you force them to combo more just so they can even try to be strong enough to try to do you damage. So there's that. But like I mentioned before, you definitely want to make sure your leader's power is pretty high. Stuff like Senzu being, keeping your making your leader a 20k on the awakened side is obviously a good start. Unisons, battle cards with 20k power and above is always good because that forces your opponent to have to combo if they want to try to hit, because more likely their leader is going to be 15k. Sometimes your opponent probably going to have a 15k unison, so having a whole bunch of 20ks on your side of the field increases the chances of them being forced to combo. So that's the thing when it comes to comboing, is that you want to force your opponent to combo. You want to control how much they combo as opposed to how much you combo. So you don't have to worry about comboing because you don't want to combo. That's just a waste of good cards. You want your opponent to combo. That's the way I look at it, and it works for me. That's the way I prefer my opponent to be the one doing all the combo and all the thinking. And I do that a lot, especially when I play people in real life. I really be seeing them struggling, trying to figure out what they should combo, what they shouldn't combo. And good thing I don't have to worry about that because I know I'm just not comboing. You know what I mean, right? So that's the thing. I try to make the game simple as possible for myself. I don't want to add extra steps unnecessarily. Right? There'll be times where I might have to combo like 15k out of my hands. Like, oh, okay, let me use a couple 5ks to out combo this attack, because it might be a game-winning attack. So I better out combo it, right? If not, I just lose. So I'd rather out combo it. But other than that, typically I don't have to worry too much. What you gotta worry about the most is not comboing. It's damage, right? It's allowing your opponent to deal you damage versus stopping them. This is part of why people talk about comboing or even using super combos, because they're thinking of the idea of like, but it's so useful to use super combos because you can use it defensively. It's like, yeah, and you can use a blocker and a negates defensively. Ironically, you could just take a hit. You could just take the damage defensively. Like, you don't have to try to stop every attack. You can if your opponent's going to swing with you with 2 attacks, take one and stop the other. You don't have to stop both. You know what I mean? Just so many people are obsessed with, like, they're set on they have certain mindset, and the mindset is, well, I want to stop every attack. Well, ideally, in a perfect world, yes, you want every attack to be stopped. In a perfect world, you don't want your opponent to be able to do you damage, period, in a perfect world. But of course, we don't live in a perfect world, so sometimes you're going to have to take a hit. And time for my shift to start. So, just keep that in mind. You want to combo less than your opponent, and you want them to combo more than you. And then if you can incorporate like rebrand or some hand control elements into it, you can drastically reduce battle cards. This say your opponent drops a card from the hand. These are the kind of stuff you want to do because that drastically reduces their combo power. So that way when you attack, well, if they have to combo to stop your attacks, right, then they'll have to give up more cards from the hand. So the more cards you rip out their hands from just your actions, the less comboing you have to do when they try to come back at you on the clapback. And the clapback should be very, very mid at best because of all the efforts you put in. And that'll be the end of the video.